Hello beautiful people and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, it's wonderful to have you, and if you're returning, it's great to see you again. In this video you'll see my channeled message plus a page from the Daily Guidance Angel book and also a card from the Universal Love Healing deck. Please note that this is a collective group message, so it may not resonate with you, and that's simply okay. Come back and visit me tomorrow where it may be more aligned with what you need to know. Take one small action. Have you wanted to do something for a while, however, you still haven't started? Why? Have you wanted to improve your fitness? Have you wanted to improve your health? Have you wanted to travel? All those things. What's something that you have not started yet and you haven't even taken a small action towards stepping towards getting that goal? Are you focusing on the big picture and it just seems so overwhelming, hard, scary, and so unachievable at times? It can be so easy to take ourselves out. Our thoughts focus on the big picture and tell us, oh my goodness, it's too hard. I have to give this up. Work longer hours. It's going to take too long. And whatever other negative, dramatized things it will take for you to give up and not start. Being aware and catching out your untrue thoughts is key. It takes practice, practice, practice to manage your thoughts. It takes you to feel that you can achieve the very thing you're after first. Breathe and allow your logical mind to kick in. Break down the goal, the task, or the project at hand down into bite-sized chunks. Focus on the smaller steps you will do to get to your final destination. It's like when you're driving to a place you've not been before. You type in the address into Google Maps and it guides you step by step, giving you bite-sized directions along the way until you arrive at your final destination. I'm sure all of you have used Google Maps and you know exactly what I'm speaking about. It says turn left in 300 meters, blah, blah, blah. But it's bite-sized chunks. If you're going somewhere, I don't know, if you're a really confident driver, cool, but there are times for me, if I'm driving over to a suburb or a place that I'm not familiar with, it can get a little bit overwhelming for me because I'm like, I don't know where I am, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm looking at the final destination rather than looking at just the steps of how I'm going to get there. And when I look at the steps and go, oh, okay, so yeah, I know that and I know that, all of a sudden, it doesn't seem so overwhelming to arrive at my destination. So it does not give you the directions in one hit. It doesn't say turn left here, turn right there, before you even get there. It tells you progressively, so it's step by step, right? Your thoughts are the same. It gives you the direction and the final destination in one hit. That's what you're focusing on, which leaves you feeling overwhelmed, lost, anxious, whatever other emotion that triggers for you. And guess what? Boom. You don't take any action. You don't even take one little baby step. So in order for you, if there are things in your life that you're fearful of doing, or if you find overwhelming, or that you so want to start, break it down. Go back to what are you going to do today? What are you going to do tomorrow? Rather than look at the whole week or the whole month or in 5 years. That's what becomes overwhelming. But when you bring it back to the basics and you just look at, okay, today I'm just going to do one step. It may be a new way of eating, right? I don't like to refer to it as diet, so you can also shift the language. I look at it as a new way to eat, a new lifestyle. And I discovered that really finding food that's quick to eat, that's flavoursome, really works for us. And so for us, we got a program that really did guide us step by step for 12 weeks. Rather than really get lost by a recipe book and then just go, I'm going to play it by ear and then I'll eat that and eat that. It's a bit overwhelming. So for you, if that is still overwhelming, that 12-week program, then look at one week and go, I'm going to do it one day. And if one day is even overwhelming, just do one meal out of that one day. Break it down, but celebrate that you've taken one action. As my husband would say, 1%. So it takes just that. You've just got to take a step. But it's easier to take a step when you break it down and just go into bite-sized chunks. And make sure that when you make even a little tiny step, celebrate it. Be proud of yourself. Don't look at the negative and go, oh, but I didn't do the whole week, or I didn't do the whole this, or I didn't do the whole that. Celebrate the thing that you did do. And that's what often can take you out, because you don't acknowledge and celebrate those tiny little wins. You dismiss them. Yeah? Okay, so let's head on over to the page. What does it have for us today? Light a candle. Let's get into this. And for me, it's about lighting a candle is almost lighting a spark within you. And all it takes to light that candle is for you to take one tiny action. And it's amazing once you take one tiny action and you actually allow yourself to celebrate it, you've lit the candle. And generally what happens for most is that you build this sense of momentum because you're proud of and you've celebrated that one little thing and you go, you know what, I can do this. And then you might implement 2 steps or 3. Once you gain momentum, you don't stop, you just keep going. It just takes that initial step, which is lighting the candle for it to burn. And look how long that candle will burn. So really allow yourself to gain momentum, yeah? So before I read this message, if you want to close your eyes, take a deep breath with me, just so you can absorb all the words from this message. There are wonderful reasons why candles have been used in spiritual ceremonies since ancient times. Their lit light uplifts the energy and senses of everyone who sees them and is much closer to natural sunlight than the artificial illumination in most homes and offices. This is one explanation of why looking at a candle is energizing, much like spending time in bright outdoors can be. Candlelight sparks the imagination to stare into the flame as a focal point for meditation or visualization. You can also light candles to celebrate or commemorate something, since they serve whatever purpose you set for them. I like the bit that it mentioned celebrate. We were just speaking about that. Today, light a candle with heartfelt intention as you place the flame to match to the wick. I'll read that again. As you place the flame of a match to the wick, think of your intention, such as someone's health, world peace, prosperity, and so forth. Light as many of them as you have aims, and look at each one while holding prayers for what you want. As you extinguish the flame later, be sure to thank the candle for its support. I love that it actually says, really set your intention. What is it you want? And so maybe you're not taking action because really you don't have the clarity of where you're headed. And if you have uncertainty, then of course it's not surprising you haven't taken action. So maybe that's a question you need to, go inward and ask yourself, if this, whatever it is, do I really want it? Because if the answer is no, then that really is your answer of why you're not taking action. It's not that it's overwhelming, it's the fact that you don't really want it. So that's a bit of clarity. Thought for today. I light a candle and connect with the brightness within my prayers. This sacred light inside me is reflected in the mirror of the dancing flame. I really like that. It's all about when you light a candle, it begins to burn. It burns for ages. So if you take that first step, you can build momentum and you too can shine bright. And just in that message was the stipulation was just maybe whatever you think that you want is not truly what you feel that you want. It may not be really what you want, and hence why the hesitation in taking action. So gain some clarity on that and make sure that whatever it is you think you want, it is definitely what you feel you want. Two different things. So let's go on to the card, and what does the card have for us? Oh my goodness. Inner child. Okay. Now, I discovered that I have two universal love decks. They're slightly different. They are all the same cards. However, I'm sure this came up yesterday or the day before. Inner child just keeps rearing its head. And what really came to light for me this morning was that this is where I work with so many people, is their inner child, their younger self, because it's your younger self that holds you back, causes limiting beliefs, causes you to not feel self-love, self-worth, self-value. All this is clearly unhealed. This card just keeps presenting itself. And I go, so some of you are watching this and you may not be getting to your truth. And I'm not saying intentionally, but your younger self is waiting for something to be recognized and acknowledged, because it keeps coming up. And just maybe something from your younger self is what's holding you back from taking that one action. So go inward and see if there's anything that is causing you either a fear, trepidation, hesitation, not belief in self, not worthy enough to really hold you back from taking that one action. Yeah? So let's get on to the card message. And I must say, I love the words in this message. So if you want to close your eyes with me and recenter yourself, take a deep breath, just so you can absorb all the words in this message. For some of you, I'd love you, if you feel comfortable enough, close your eyes as you hear the words in this message, because they have some pretty intense meaning behind them, and it may just trigger something that you need to find. So if you feel comfortable enough to do that, close your eyes as I read this message. Your inner child feels neglected and is in need of some love and attention. Perhaps it's time to have some fun, just for the sake of it. Do something enjoyable just for you and stop taking life so seriously. The child has this poem for you. Within your heart lies your truth. It awaits you patiently, tenderly, and lovingly, for it is your true nature. Through all your travels, yearning, confusion, love is always present. Look back through the midst of time and you will rediscover the child within. In doing so, you will rediscover the real you. And that's slightly shorter than the other card message, and I really do want to read that one, but we'll go with this one today. So I hope that you are connected with your younger self and you have done the healing work with whatever is holding you back. But it's amazing how all the messages seem to keep coming back to your younger self. That's just come to light too. Why are all these different messages over the last few days always end up with the card being the inner child? There's definitely a message there. And it's saying that if any of these messages are resonating with you, there may be just absolutely something connected back to your younger self, your inner child, whatever word resonates with you, that is unhealed. And that is contributing to the messages. So for this one, as in not taking action. Yeah? So sit with yourself, and it's not easy. It going inward to really reflect and go, why do I feel that I'm struggling to take action? What is my fear? Yeah? Why does it seem so overwhelming? And then look at the outcomes. When I do this, how will I feel? When I do this, when I achieve this, when I'm successful in this, how will I feel? Go to that, ask those questions, look at the positive, and that may be the step that you need to push you forward. So I hope that you gain something little from today. And remember, you matter. You matter. You are your most valuable asset, so invest in you. Don't hold on to the words so much of what I express. More look into the meaning behind it. What's the intention behind the word? What's the word really saying? So when you feel your way through a message, you'll be surprised what comes up. But if you're hearing it all through here and you're analytical, you may miss the message hidden behind the words. I want to thank you for spending your time with me, as I absolutely respect your time is valuable. If you enjoyed today's video, I would be so grateful if you would like the video, subscribe to my channel, and also click on the notifications bell so you'll be notified when I upload tomorrow's cat's message of the day. So for today, take care.